From the shores of Scapa Flow in Orkney to the Kennet and Avon Canal, and from the rugged grandeur of the Isle of Skye to the rolling South Downs, Season 4 of Folk on Foot was as varied and spectacular as ever. And, as is our custom, we can now bring you a selection of the songs in full to remind you of the many tremendous performances we've enjoyed on our walks. We start with a song that's impossible to get out of your head once you've heard it. Inspired by Nancy Kerr's time living on a narrow boat, here's Queen of Waters.
Well, away, my love, away, for we're sailing home today on a boat called Memory. Hey-oh-ho, hearts that long for the land. Oh, she's like some Persian queen with her opal robe serene in the lamplight shimmering. Hey-oh-ho, hearts that long for the land. On a blue jay morning, feathering thorny memories. Hey-oh-ho, hearts have been too long away. On a well-worn byway, travelling, magpie gathering, farewell, Queen of Waters. Well, it's hard to roll in mirth when your feet don't touch the earth and the wolf comes hungering. Hey-oh-ho, hearts that long for the land. Folly never foots the bill, and we all shall pay in full for a life of melody. Hey-oh-ho, hearts that long for the land. On a blue jay morning, feathering thorny memories. Hey-oh-ho, hearts have been too long away. On a well-worn byway, travelling, magpie gathering, farewell, Queen of Waters. Well, I should have sowed my corn, but I danced until the dawn, like an ant grasshoppering. Hey-oh-ho, hearts that long for the land. Oh, there must be better ways for to keep their debts at bay, and the whiskey trickling. Hey-oh-ho, hearts that long for the land. On a blue jay morning, feathering thorny memories. Hey-oh-ho, hearts have been too long away. On a well-worn byway, travelling, magpie gathering, farewell, Queen of Waters. So we'll bid our ship adieu. There's a mooring in the blue where the gulls are gathering. Hey-oh-ho, hearts that long for the land. Oh, she's like some Persian queen, and her like shall never be seen, only in our reverie. Hey-oh-ho, hearts that long for the land. On a blue jay morning, feathering thorny memories. Hey-oh-ho, hearts have been too long away. On a well-worn byway, travelling, magpie gathering, farewell, Queen of Waters.
Nancy Kerr singing Queen of Waters on the towpath of the Kennet and Avon Canal in Wiltshire. Our episode with Kris Drever took us further north than we've ever been, to the islands of Orkney and the shores of that great natural harbour Scapa Flow. It was here in 1919, in the aftermath of the First World War, that the captured German Navy was held while the Allies decided what to do with the 70 or so ships. A defiant German admiral had other ideas. He ordered his bedraggled and demoralised crews to open the seacocks and send the ships to the bottom of the ocean. Here's Kris Drever telling that story in song.
Took 20 years to build this fleet, 4 years to lose the war. Millions dead and no one knows rebellion was all for. The kings run off to Holland and they jailed the mutineers. 6 months since the killing stalled, we were still anchored here. Maybe a country rose and fell in Oldenburg, God only knows. And all we saw was the rise and fall of the tides in Scapa Flow. We were ragged, we were dirty, though we knew we didn't care. Our only flag was a linen rag, as lank and lousy as our hair. Esprit de corps and dignity, they ran off with our boat. One day I robbed an officer, I sold his iron cross for soul. Maybe a country rose and fell in Oldenburg, God only knows. And all we saw was the rise and fall of the tides in Scapa Flow. Today was June the 21st, and the year 1919. The day the sea cogs open, still the strangest I've yet seen. By semaphore and searchlight we sent the signal on its way. Von Reuter's still the only man sink a navy in a day. Maybe a country rose and fell in Oldenburg, God only knows. And all we saw was the rise and fall of the tides in Scapa Flow. Maybe a country rose and fell in Oldenburg, God only knows. And all we saw was the rise and fall of the tides in Scapa Flow.
Kris Drever on the shore of Scapa Flow in Orkney. Well, when we went to Edale in the Peak District to walk with Bella Hardy, it poured with rain. So we were very grateful to be able to take shelter in Bella's mum's cosy cottage, where Bella soothed us with this beautiful song.
Ghosts by my bed I see when I'm waking, and I sigh to my sister, I'd rather be sleeping. Last night I dived in the deep blue sea with a man that loved me. Why couldn't I stay, sleeping beauty, in the broad light of day? How the ugly shows in me, with my soft eyes closed. I was his perfection. But here I stand before you now, with my eyes wide open. And it's only 10:30. I'm flighty and I'm lusty, and as she said, hell's murky. We go out and we live and we roam, and then we bring the worst of ourselves home again. And wars, they are lost before they're begun. The battles, though they never go to plan, I'm a disappointment from the moment I rise to the moment I close my eyes. But here I stand before you now, with my eyes wide open. Without thorns, for life's as much in kisses as it is in blood and grit. Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it.
Sleeping Beauty, sung by Bella Hardy in Edale. It was a privilege and a great pleasure to walk with the legendary Peggy Seeger near her home in Iffley on the outskirts of Oxford. She sang a song inspired by a woman she met during the Greenham Common protests. The woman was a wheelchair user, and Peggy spent a long time interviewing her about her experiences before writing this.
So the first thing she said to me when I went to record her, and I recorded her for 4 hours, and she just wanted me to know everything. The first thing she said was, I'm a woman on wheels. I'm a woman on wheels, but I still got my brain. I'm gonna tell you how it feels to be your own railway train. Roll down to the corner, put on your brakes. I'm gonna tell you what it takes to be a woman on wheels. Roll on over the holes, the bumps, the cracks, roll on. Do you remember that day we were running for the train and my tire went flat? Roll on. That man over there, the one under the hat, trying so hard not to stare. You get used to that, still is better than looking away. You get that every day. You're a woman on wheels. Roll on, pity me and I'll pity you, roll on. All they ever want to talk to me about is the things that I can't do. Roll on. When it comes to curbs, when it comes to stairs, I've got my special words. And I don't mean prayers. When it comes to the stores, to reach the merchandise, it's a major exercise for the woman on wheels. Roll on, I want a chair that can levitate, roll on. I want to race up ramps, run down stairs, wouldn't that be great? Roll on. I went down to Greenham and I was cutting the fence. Cops pulled me out of the way. Then they waded in, they said, you'll never get arrested, a little lady like you. I says, who are you talking to? I'm a woman on wheels. I said, hold on, I've got my rights to demonstrate, roll on. Next time I went down, I took a dozen bolt cutters and a dozen wheelchair mates, roll on. I want to be alone, but I'm always under care. I've got this urge to roam. Me and my chair, we're together for life, not together for love. And there's things I need more of. I'm a woman on wheels. Roll on, so many places I can't go, roll on. I want to lie in a field with the flowers, or run on a beach with the sand between my toes, roll on. Well, I need you, you need me to tell you about a different view of the world you see, about the pain I feel, about the fight I've won, about how to do some little things you think can't be done. Roll on, with the deaf and blind, the lame and halt, roll on. There's money around to help us all. If the crippled system holds us back, keeps the people on wheels off the mainline track. Jennifer Jones, she was wonderful.
Woman on Wheels by Peggy Seeger. Well, we've travelled to some amazing places on Folk on Foot, but among the most spectacular has to be the Isle of Skye off the west coast of Scotland. That's where we walked with Rachel Newton and her harp by the cascading waters known as the Fairy Pools. With a backdrop of majestic mountains, she sang this poignant song.
Raise the window, mother, darling, for no air can harm me now. Let the breath that blows in on me, for to cool my fevered brow. Death will soon relieve my sorrow, soon will cease this aching heart. But have a dying message we must meet before we part. There is one you know him, mother, no one need not speak his name. You'll remember how he sought me, and with loving words he came. And you'll remember how I trusted, and my thoughts were all on him. Let's close the window, mother, darling, for my eyes are growing dim. Let's take this ring from off my finger, where he placed it long ago. Give it to him with a blessing, which in dying I bestow, and tell him it's a token, mother, of forgiveness and of peace. Tell him, hush, his voice I hear it, will his watching never cease. a fair and better land, where the hearts of none is broken, but will join a holy band. And when my troubles are all over, and you'll see me breathe no more, it's do not weep, but think me waiting for you on the other shore.
The Token, sung by Rachel Newton on Skye. The landscape was much gentler when we walked with John Jones of Oyster Band and his Reluctant Ramblers in Hampshire. We climbed the rolling grasslands to Old Winchester Hill, where we found the remains of an Iron Age fort covered in a carpet of wild flowers. And John and his band sang this song.
Walking through Ithonside, so the stars fly like birds, pools of water burn like fire, not a cry of sun's heard. So you smile and raise your eyes as our breath hung heavy, evaporated to the sky. We held our tempo steady. There is no darkness anymore. I feel no danger. Loving you just makes me sure. And I feel no strangers. I make my way through wilderness, the sun and moon to guide me. I navigate these bitter streets, where only you can find me. Walking through Ithonside, walking through Ithonside, walking through Ithonside, walking through Ithonside. I made my way through wilderness, the sun and moon to guide me. I navigate these bitter streets, where only you can find me. Walking through Ithonside, walking through Ithonside, walking through Ithonside, walking through Ithonside.
John Jones and the Reluctant Ramblers with Walking Through Ithonside. There's one more song to come, but before I share it with you, I just want to remind you that Folk on Foot is a not-for-profit podcast, which depends on donations from listeners to keep going. If you become a patron in return for a small monthly donation, you can choose which level of rewards you want, ranging from a Folk on Foot badge to exclusive films of our artists performing, or even a handwritten postcard from me for every episode. If you're really generous, I'll even take you on a walk myself. Just go to folkonfoot.com and click on the Support Us button. Even the smallest donations help us to keep on making more glorious episodes. But we felt we couldn't end without a reminder of our first Festive episode, featuring the Sheffield Carols and the talents of John Bowden, Bella Hardy and the Melrose Quartet. Nancy Kerr and her husband James Fagan were joined in their living room in Sheffield by Jess and Richard Arrowsmith for Bright New Year. The Melrose Quartet in Sheffield. So that wraps up another season of Folk on Foot. But don't worry, thanks to the support we get from our wonderful patrons, we've already started working on Season 5. So this summer, we'll be able to bring you 6 more episodes of unique performances by brilliant artists in extraordinary places. And if you haven't caught up with all the episodes of Folk on Foot yet, do keep listening. Each one was a delight to make, and we hope will be a delight for your ears.